Hello everyone, this video would show you how to create an email signature using an awesome program called Canva. You're going to go to that website by simply typing the following address, canva.com. Okay, so once we're there, we're going to log in or sign up. If we have not created an account, we can do that at this time. So I'm going to choose login. If we have not set up an account yet with canva.com, we can simply use this option here at the bottom that says sign up with your work email. You're going to enter your district email account at this time. Okay. In my case, since I already have an account, so I'm going to simply go back to the previous page and choose the option that says continue with Google. I'm going to choose my district email account. The easiest method to create an email signature is to simply utilize one of the templates that they have available. So if I go to templates and then simply do a search for email signatures, you're going to see that there's a number of templates already made for you that you can use and simply customize with your own information. So for example, if I decide to use this one because I like the layout, I like the design, the color contrast and all that stuff, once you select it, you're gonna be able to customize by clicking on this option that says customize this template. Come in here and enter my own information. Okay. So anything that you see here that's editable can be customized, even your picture. If I don't want to use that picture, I can simply delete that and bring up my own content, my own picture. I happen to have mine here, so I would simply drag and drop it there. Okay, and again, anything that you don't want to have in the design, you can simply delete it, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can practically be done in 5 minutes setting up your email signature. However, we're gonna take another approach and we're gonna start from scratch. I'm going to show you a sample design that I made earlier. So the sample design that we're gonna try to create, it's gonna look something like this. Okay. So I basically have the my Calendar logo here on top, my name. Behind that I have a solid line along with my picture and then my information. Also added this design here in the corner to make it look nicer. And then notice that it also has a light gradient background. So how do we design an email signature from scratch? Okay, so the first thing is to go to the home page. Okay, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna go to the home page. One way that I'm gonna approach it is by simply coming up here to the top where it says custom size. This is where I'm going to specify the size of my design, and since it's going to be an email signature, we don't want for that to be too big. I'm going to simply set it up to be 400 by 200 pixels. Okay, do make sure that it does say or indicate pixels here. Notice that we have other units here as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna create a new design, and I should now see a blank page for my new email signature. Okay, so first things first. First thing we're gonna do is let's go back to my sample design. I'm gonna start off with the name, then my title, and then this information that we have here at the bottom. Then I'll proceed to bringing in the picture, how to set it up with the background, how to set up a frame so that we can put the picture in there, and then how to create these little icons here for location, email, and so on and so forth. And then move up to adding this graphic here in the corner. And then the last thing is gonna be how to set up the background, and then the final step is how to save it to your computer. Okay, so again, we're gonna start with a name. and then this information here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to enter text. You can either go to the text option here on the left side and then choose one of these categories, whether it's a heading, subheading, and so on. If you simply want regular text, you can go with this option that says add a little bit of body text. Or on the actual page, I can simply type the T on the keyboard in order to create a text box. So I'm gonna put in my name. Okay. Now the font size, it's up to you. I'm gonna resize it a little bit. And then the type of font, or the font name rather, in my case, it's called Better Saturday. And it happens to be this one right there. So there's my name that I have. Let me just double check that it is the same. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is enter the rest of the information, which is my address to my office, then my email, the website, and my phone number. Okay, to save time, I'm just gonna copy those lines of text. So I'm gonna do Control C if you're in the Windows, Apple C if you're in the Mac, to copy that. Back to my email signature, do Apple V to paste, or Control V to paste on the Windows side. Okay, so now that I have this text here, I can now add the icons that I have for each of these items, and I'm talking about the location, email, and website, and the phone number. So going back to my page, my design. Now the way I added those icons for these lines of information, I simply went to the Elements tab and I did a search for location, and I got different kinds of icons for location. So any of these that I like, I can simply click and it'll post it there. This one happens to be white, that's why you don't see it, but I'm gonna delete that to add another one. Okay, that one looks good. Now notice that they do have a circle in the background, so I'm gonna bring that up as well. So to add a circle, I'm gonna simply do a search for a circle, use any of these circles, and then I can always change the color. If you select that object and then come up here to the top and then click on the color icon for that object, I can simply choose one of these colors. Okay, so now what I need to do, notice that the circle is layered on top of the location icon. So what I need to do is either send this to the back of this, or send the location icon to the front. So I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna send it to the front, so that now it appears in front of the circle. I'm gonna resize that and center that in the circle. I can now select both objects and resize at the same time. Okay. So what I can do to save time, I can simply select the circle and do a copy the circle, and then paste it a couple of times. Okay. Okay, so now the next icon that I need is an icon for email. So I'm gonna simply do a search for email. And there's one right there. I like this one here. Resize it. And again, making sure that it fits in the center of the circle. And now we need the website. Do a search for website. And then now the website, now the phone number. There's a phone icon. Okay, so I'm gonna start moving those to one thing you can do in order to avoid having to have these get out of place. You select both items at the same time, and then come up here to the top where it says group. You can group those objects so that now they stay together at all times. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing for these over here in the bottom. Group those. And if you ever need to edit them, you can simply select them, right click, and then choose ungroup. Okay, one more group. So now I'm gonna move them up to the respective areas. And I think I made those a little bit too big, but that's not a problem. I'm gonna come back and resize those, and I can do that all at once. So I'm gonna select all of them at once, and then just do just resize that. And I think that's gonna be much better. I may still need to go a little bit more down in size. I think that's gonna do it. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is to add the picture. I have uploaded a picture previously, so if I go to my uploads, I'm gonna see that there's a history of all the graphics that I have used in the past, and one of them happens to be a picture that I have. To upload content to Canva, all you do is simply drag your images or your content and then drop them into the Canva website. Okay, so I have my picture. I'm gonna choose my picture, and it's gonna automatically place it in my Canva. Now, notice that on the design that I have here, my picture is enclosed inside a circle. So let me show you how that's done. I'm going to now go back to my elements and then do a search for a frame. You're gonna see that there's a listing of different kinds of frames that I can choose from. In this case, I'm gonna choose a circle. So now I can use this frame to create this effect right here. Okay, so how do we do this? I can simply select the picture and then drop it inside that circle, and that takes care of that. My picture has a border around that, so that is simple to do. All I'm gonna do is simply go back to my circles, bring in a circle in here, resize it big enough to enclose my entire picture like that. Change the color to yellow. Now I'm gonna send this image to the back of my picture. So I'm gonna right click on that and then choose send to back. There we go. I can resize slightly to make it smaller. Okay, it looks about right. You will notice those lines that come up, they tell you when it's either centered vertically or horizontally. There we go. Next step is to create this line that's behind my name. Okay, so that is very simple to do. I'm gonna go to, again, my elements, do a search for a line. I'm gonna choose, there's different line styles as you can see here. I'm gonna choose this solid line here at the bottom, and notice that it came in as this color in a different style, but I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna click on this line style icon and increase the line weight to about that width. Also the line color, I want for it to match this yellow color. So I'm going to select that, go here, and then choose that color. There we go. Now all I'm going to do is simply resize that line, maybe up to that. Let me look at the original one, how far it goes. It goes all the way to the edge. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna resize it up to there, and I guess here it doesn't matter how far in you go because that's gonna be in the back. It's gonna be sent to the back. So I'm gonna right click on that and send to back. All right, I think that one's centered with the picture. I think my name has to be moved a little bit more to the bottom, like so. Okay. Next step is to add this graphic here in the corner. Notice that this graphic is composed of 3 colors, the solid black, the yellow, and the gray. Okay, so where do I find this particular design? Okay, so to do that, I'm going to go back to my design and back to elements. And then if you notice that there's a category called lines and shapes. So I'm gonna look at this category, at this listing of lines and shapes, and to do that, I'm gonna simply click on the option that says see all. So if I click there, if I scroll all the way to the bottom, that is where I'm gonna find that design, and it happens to be this one right here. Okay, so I'm gonna click on it one time. So it appears to be at another angle, but I can quickly take care of that by simply selecting the object and then clicking and holding on this handle so that I can angle it like so. I'm going to also resize that so that it extends from this side all the way to the bottom. Okay, something like that. All right, so now what I'm going to do, you select the object because I'm going to now change the colors. Notice that it has 3 shades, and then when I select that object over here at the top, I'm able to see the 3 different colors that are set for this graphic. So I'm going to start off with the darkest one. So I'm going to click there, and so that line I want for that to be a solid black. So I'm going to choose black. Then the next shade is going to be this one, and it's represented by this icon here, and I want for that to be yellow. You choose this one too. And then last but not least is going to be this one here, so I'll choose that color, and I guess I can go with that darker shade. Okay, it's looking good so far. I think I need to go a little bit more on this side, so I'm just going to select that and then make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So now at this point I can either leave it the way it is to make it look a little bit nicer, I think, in my opinion. What we can do is add a background. I'm thinking of adding a light background, kind of like the one we have on our design, like a light gradient effect. It kind of starts off as kind of dark, and then it becomes lighter towards this side. So to do that, I'm going to simply go to my backgrounds over here on the left side. Maybe notice that there's different kinds of backgrounds that I can easily apply to my design, and I can simply be testing them out like so to see how they look. But the one that I'm looking for is gonna be this one right there. Okay. So, oh, I apologize. There's one more thing that we need to add, and that is the McAllen logo. How do I do that? If you don't have that logo available and you want to use that, you can simply do a search for that logo in Google. You're gonna have different kinds of logos for McAllen. Select it and then save it to your computer. And then once you save it to your computer, you can simply upload it to Canva. So that once you upload it to Canva, here. Okay, so I already did that earlier. So I'm gonna simply select that object, and it's gonna be pasted on my page. And so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to resize that. I'm gonna try to resize it and center it. Maybe a little bit smaller, like so. Okay, notice that we have a white background for the McAllen logo, but we can take care of that by simply selecting the graphic, then going up here to where it says edit image. Then, just so that you know, there's some different kinds of filters you can apply to your image. But in this case, we simply want to remove the background. Okay, so I'm gonna simply click on this option that says remove background. It's gonna process that image momentarily. And so now we have our new image without a background. All right, so okay, the very last thing you want to do is to save your design to your computer so that you can now apply it or use it on your email program. Okay, so how do we do that? We can simply go to the share option here on top and then choose the option to download it. When you do that, notice that there's a drop down here that gives you different options for you to choose your file format. In this case, I'll just leave it as PNG, or it could have been JPEG. Okay, the most common type is going to be PNG. So once I make my selection, I can simply click on download. And you're going to see that my design is going to be downloaded. I'll click on open just to show you that it's there. There we go. There it is. All right, that is all, folks. I hope you're able to set up your own email signature. Let us know how it goes. Thank you.